This is the Sacred Heart Church here in 7th Street, and this is the Othello branch on 7th Street. This is Othello Washington. The services they provide morning, afternoon, and night. You got Wednesday catechism, and you got Wednesday, and you also got Sunday. You got Saturday, and you also got the nonchalant. As you can see, the services they provide here is morning. That's biscuits and gravy, and also eggs and hash browns, potatoes wedges, potatoes squared off potatoes. And these are Lamb Weston, Conger, McCain's as in Othello Washington, BBSI, Simplot is in Othello Washington, CHS is in here in Othello Washington, CHS transport for the fuel, which is called Cenex. The original services they got is potato wedges, potato hash browns, and also curly fries, curly hash brown fries, crazy seasonal fries, and also curly fries, which provide services for Taco Bell, Winco, Albertsons, Safeway, Vons, Rosars. Vons is in California, Safeway is in California, Albertsons in California, Vons is in California, Yolks is here. Yolks, Winco is the biggest corporation in the world, bigger than Walmart. It is 20 times bigger than Walmart. Winco is 20 times bigger than Walmart. So this is service provide potatoes for their services. Burger King, McDonald's, Jack in the Box, and also the services they provide all 50 states. International transport would be Texas, New Mexico, Mexico, and also California, and also the 5 different borders which are touching Mexico. Canada is connected to Washington State. Oregon is connected to Washington State, and also don't forget the services they provide to the services for the highway to California is from Oregon State. International transport, international fueling on international airport, and that's LAX, Los Angeles, LABARELA, and that's Los Angeles, Los Angeles. Services they probably got a dishwasher, just pit. They got the sink and common station in the back. They have the cabinets, the refrigerators, refrigerator access, and also the walk-in freezer, walk-in refrigerator, shelving, and they also have the services they got for the dishwasher pit, as you can see. The service they got is biscuits, gravy, and that services, and that's a Mrs. and Mr. Spada, and their services they provided here at the church. And Mr. Mark Bishop from 3rd District, and that's 7th Street, and that's the Mormon Church of Latter-day Saints, the president and vice president of the church, the vice president church here in Kennewick, and also here in Othello, and also here in Lamb Weston, which is expanding in Richland, Washington, and Washington State University. The College Washington University is in Richland, Washington. The University of Washington is in Richland, Washington, and that's the Battelle and Goals Gym facility they got, and the services they provide for the expansion is added on. This is McCain's, Nijjars is apples, oranges, asparagus, peaches, canned products, Welch's juice. Welch's is in Kennewick, but they have Welch product and orchard services for all dollar stores, all dollar services, of course. And they have the cabinets and incomes for the catechisms and increments for the classes are here monitored by all the mothers and fathers and siblings, and they have services in here in Chow Hall. This is a small Chow Hall. As you can see, that's a 1x1 white Monticello white. This is a 101 Monticello white with grout, and the grout gapping for each of the individual 1x1 flooring is connected to the Chow Hall, and the other side of it is expanded. Now, Andy Miller at CO Benton, Washington, that's online. That's andy.miller at CO Benton, Washington, US 509-735-3591. The fax machine is 509-736-3066. And also the first and last of address, and that's 509-735-3591, 7112 West Grand, and that's the coroner's office, which is 7110 Kennewick, Washington, and Prosecuting Justice Department 7112 West Okanagan Place. The coroner's office and the registering all of the birth certificates and printouts at and the Human Resources in EPHRATA, which is EPHRATA Courthouse on 42nd George Washington House, and Martha Washington, Georgia, and Lola Hernandez is on the emblems of the all nations, and they're not Mexicans. They're Indians. So this is an emblem of the Guadalajara and the Guadalupe Tocha, and also the Guadalupe that's imprinted here in the Chow Hall. They've had services here since George Washington, and the George Washington UBI number is a UBI number. And after that, I believe that's 7 different governors for Washington State. That's 7 governors of Washington State. That's the Guadalupe. That's 7 governors that are on the wall here. As you can see, all those 7 governors lost their job and got fired and got suspended for all the lies and comprehensions they have here on 7th here and so much, and the LDS Church in town. Now they have a font at Gage Boulevard, and that's the LDS Church, and they have slots, and also the mausoleum had transparency for their children for cremations, urns, and bodies that are put in the caskets. This is on the north, and there's the now side of the wall, the west, east side of the wall. The west and east side of the wall, we have, as you can see, the emblem of the Virgin Mary. And the officers attacked me at the Safeco insurance company called Basin Pacific at 1344, and that was in front of their children and a bowling alley, and all their children, that's 7,000 family members, U.S. citizens, and the other 7,000 are Mexicans, immigrants. They're disclosed because they can't vote, and they can't get a post office box, and they can't have rights. So the other 7,000 are here, expanding their features at catechism, and they're U.S. citizens born at the Othello Hospital. Mumu Ganja, that's 1099, Donald Trump at 8131 Klamath, Cincinnati, Kenneth Social Security Office. And that's Mr. Cepeda. We're going to write out a check to him and give it to their services because of this expansion here at, of course, the CIMARON5INC Banquet Pile Restaurant Bar, and that's a post office. And also Mrs. Trump and Mrs. Melania Trump and Ivanka and Donald Trump and the administration office at Simon's Mall have incorporated. The Old Navy was built, and also the Old Navy and Battelle nuclear reactor, Queensgate, was built. That's Andy Miller on Facebook, YouTube, their grandmother. The services they provide for their children and also their intellectual children that have high scores, high scores, SAT scores, ASVAB testing, and curriculum in passing the PE test. When they're in the PE for an hour, they do cardiovascular programs, and the interest is they got a home ec class that has access to this here. This is the chow hall, and they learn how to feed and treat their individual family members with respect, because you have a dishwasher and a propane line that was removed out of CIMARON5INC Banquet Bar Restaurant, and also the stove and the furniture that was pulled out of CIMARON5INC from Walker's Furniture and place. So they have a lot of training going on, a lot of activities. And these police officers attacked me on December 3rd, 2018, and again at Olson D. Olson's property, and that's on 1st Street, 610 1st Street in Othello, Washington. Mr. Cepeda, Mr. Felice J. Steffen, Mr. John Cooney and Jim Cooney and Dallas Cooney at 509-326-2313, and also the administration office. They moved to a different address, of course. And we have all these activities in this room for festivities and for Mr. Cepeda and Mr. Cepeda, Alyssa Cepeda, Amanda Cepeda for Immigrant Services, Mr. BENZEL, J. Carroll, judge, of course, and they have all this deliberations and corporations with the Washington State Board Association. There's guideline processing. There's also the processing of false information, and UBI number 602720, and that's the J. Mueller and Corner's office. Actually, it's called the 315 North 14th Avenue Hospital, and I got bruises, I got scar tissue all over my head. I'm over at the mall putting some ointment and some collaborations and see if we can do some x-rays. We're at the hospital, and we have it all documented.